Good morning, Staten Island, and welcome to another edition of Grace 10314, brought to you by our friends at the Grace Foundation of New York. Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Licata, and I am the owner of Marvel Consults. At Marvel, we specialize in business development for small and large-scale companies, as well as nonprofit organizations. I'm thrilled to be here at the Grace Foundation and excited to host the show. To give you a little history about myself, I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Brooklyn, later on Staten Island. I attended Our Lady Mary Queen of Heaven in Brooklyn, St. Joe St. Thomas on Staten Island, went to Staten Island Tech High School, got my BA from the CUNY of Staten Island. Later on went to St. John's University where I got my Building Leaders Masters. Prior to that, I started to do a lot of work on Staten Island. I had been in this field for about 20 years. Prior to my work at Marvel, I had worked straight out of college at St. John's. I had taught at St. John's Lutheran on Staten Island for a few years. I then started working at United Activities Unlimited. After United Activities Unlimited, I started to work at the Staten Island Chamber of Commerce. That's it for my brief bio. Now it's time for another glimpse into the day today here at the Grace Foundation with the Respite Crew. Enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Nicholas James Manfredonia, coming live from Grace 10314. And today we did a fundraiser at Barclays Center campus in New Jersey.
I'm excited. We've been speaking about it for the past couple of months. You and I have went over it, and we finally made it happen. I know that I saw the occupancy for today. I hope that we have a great turnout. It's a lot higher today than it is on normal Thursdays, so hopefully it's because everyone wants to come here and enjoy the festivities.
When Grace came to Barclays with me around 3 years ago, my son was around 2.5 years old, right? He was speech delayed a little bit, and then we were just taking that way, right? We were not aware of any autism. We never heard of that word before, right? And when Grace Foundation came to Whitney 3 years ago, I was part of that meeting. And then there were some talks around what the signs of autism are and then all those stuff, right? So in the meeting I was thinking when the talks were going on, and then those signs were kind of matching with my son, right? So that's how I came to know that my son might be autistic. And then we went for the diagnosis right after, I think, a couple of months after that. And as you know, in New Jersey, there's a pretty long queue for the appointments with the doctor. So it took around 2 months or 3 months, and then we got the diagnosis after that. And yeah, I know a lot about autism now, and we did. I did some research on the internet about the Grace Foundation and the work you guys are doing, and then what goes behind the scenes in the child's life. So yeah, I learned about Grace after that, and I'm really thankful to the Grace Foundation that it triggered some thoughts in my mind that my son is autistic. And
been to a few of the Grace events. I've seen what Grace does, and it just moved me. So when I came to Barclays here in Whippany, I saw that the Reach Network worked with neurodiversity and autism, and it just moved me. And I said, you know what, why not get Grace here? Why not get them to maybe set up a partnership with Barclays? Maybe get, a lot of Barclays employees have kids who are on the spectrum. They've reached out to me about it. So I figured, why not get Grace here? We got them here in 2019. We had a great turnout. We went to New York and brought them here to Whippany. We had another virtual event in 2020. We had a great turnout. People from overseas as well joined. So I think that being able to share what Grace does with, not specifically New York, but New Jersey as well, will help bring attention. It'll help bring more awareness to autism. So again, it's something that I'm very passionate about. I've become very passionate about, mostly because of Grace. So it's something that I hope that we can continue to do.
I think now I'm hopeful that we are on the right path for our son. I know more about the autism now, right, than I was like 3 years back. and I hope that we will be able to have a good future for our son ahead of us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
thank you so much for coming back here and then spreading awareness about tourism. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Grace. We're at Wagner College. We did a tour, which was really cool. Come join us.
We're at Wagner College today with the Grace Foundation of New York. Our partnership with Wagner has allowed us to have this wonderful event today, basically celebrating Autism Awareness Month. The Grace Foundation of New York specializes in helping adult students with autism, and they're doing a fantastic job here in New York City. And we want to partner with the community and do great things. And today we're at Wagner University. We did a tour for the kids today. They loved it. We had a good time. We did an amazing canvas where we all put our fingerprints, and it's really just a day of celebration today, and a day to get out and support the community.
I gotta show you. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna show you this thing through. So we're very well known for our theater program.
And we have a professor that she teaches. She put them all in order, right?
Yes. Exactly. All the way down there. Give me 5. You got 5 points there.
You know, Wagner is all about civic engagement, and we're so excited to be able to partner closely with a community organization that makes such a difference in individuals' lives. So I was very excited to get to know everybody, meet everybody, see how much wisdom comes from what we may consider differences and how much we can learn from one another. So it's really, really a special opportunity, and this leads hopefully to transformative experiences for everybody involved. So we're really excited. The inquiry process was shining. They were excited about engaging with college students, and we had a great tour leader that he came prepared to ask questions, but boy, did things change.
How outgoing you guys are, how full of life, how excited you were to be here. It made me excited. I had a little foggy morning, and you guys just lit me up, and I was like, okay, I'm giving the tour. So thanks to you guys. Yes, I really enjoyed meeting you guys.
And for Autism Awareness Month. It was a nice way to kind of get kicked off in our relationship with Wagner learn from each other, learn about what's going on here in Staten Island. A lot of people are unaware of some of the great things going on at Wagner University, and the Grace Foundation wants to be a part of that.
We're hoping that the meaning of this is that it sparks ongoing excitement and a continuation of collaboration, and what does it mean to truly collaborate with members of the community.
And we're back. Let's keep this show rolling.
It's now time for Grace 10314. Did you know?
Grace 10314 viewers, what's going on? My name's Dan Ryan from the Staten Island Media Group, a previous guest host of this great program, and I'm here today providing you with today's Did You Know? Which is, did you know that the Grace Foundation and the Staten Island Media Group have partnered up to provide a new show highlighting the infamous Dayhab crew from the Grace Foundation. We'll also be chatting with business owners from around the island and other nonprofits and various characters throughout Staten Island. It'll be on SILive.com starting next month, as well as the Grace Foundation's YouTube channel. Stay tuned to 10314 for updates on when the show will be launched.
On this episode of Down on the Street, Dan meets up with the Grace Foundation's very own Kathy and Kat. Next on Dan on the Street.
We're about to meet Dan on the street, yeah. D-A-N, Dan on the street, yeah. Talking anything with Dan on the street, yeah. D-A-N, Dan on the street, yeah. 10314, just knock on Grace Foundation's door. If you really want to meet Dan on the street, yeah. Dan on the street.
Hello Staten Island, and welcome to the Grace Foundation. Today we're filming a segment called Dan on the Street. It's a new feature that's going to be part of Grace 10314. So with us today is Kat and Kathy from the Grace Foundation. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. I'd love to hear a little bit and start out by telling us a little bit about the history of the Grace Foundation itself and what you offer here.
So Grace has been around 22 years now. Started by 4, or maybe more people around a kitchen table. I heard the story that they decided what can they do for their children, because at the time, think about it, over 20 years ago, there weren't that many services for kids that were just diagnosed with autism. So they, with their passion, started this. 22 years later, has grown from maybe a few participants to over 300, servicing all individuals with autism, aged 5 through adult. We have Dayhab, ComHab, in-home respite, and we just cater to everything they want. It's if someone wants to come to dance, they dance or sing.
So Dayhab started with originally the 3 girls, and from the 3 girls, it now grew into 26. So pretty big jump within the last 5 years. So pretty much every day they go out, community inclusion, socialization skills, our business here with the soaps and the candles, they love to do that. So even if they don't like to make the candles, they do the labelings. Even with Grace 10314, if they don't like to speak in front of the camera, they do the back work. So they'll set up the cameras, they'll help with the lights, and they'll do the scripts as well. So there's a lot to do every single day.
Tell us a little bit about how 10314 got started.
Prior to the pandemic, our kids went out every day to the community. Snug Harbor, Meals on Wheels, anything they could do, they would do. Pandemic hit, boom, what do you do? So once we were able to open again and bring the kids back, we really couldn't go out to the community. So we created a show around what they were doing day to day, a little cooking, exercising, and we created a web series called Grace 10314. They scripted it, they had their creative influence, and then we were able to bring in hosts and go from there, and it's been growing ever since.
What's something unique that you've been able to draw out of this video series?
Instead of us trying to reach out to people, they're reaching out to us. Everybody wants to get included, so it's like everybody wants to help. And in this world, I always say everybody's perfectly imperfect. Like, don't judge other people. You know, look what you have in front of you. Look what people want to offer. So it's great to have those people that back you up. And where the world has been so unkind, there's a lot of kindness still.
We've been working and filming around Grace 10314 for just over a year now. How many businesses do you think and community leaders do you think you've been able to feature over the course of the last year?
God, a lot. I would say maybe 30 to 40 at least as hosts, and then we grab people to do their roundtables. So it's small businesses, it's banks, ice cream places, it's pizza places. So it's unlimited to how many people we've had in this group. So it's special. We thank them.
Can you share anything about events and things that are coming up?
First, I have to talk about bingo. So through the pandemic, because bingo is our life, we created a virtual bingo, and we have this audience. I call them the bingo cult followers. And it's all good. There's about 100 people that sign up every month, and they get together in groups, whether you're one person, 10 people, we're all a family. And they win cash prizes 50-50, and we have a lot of our participants that are actually on this as well, and they look forward to it. That's been going on for over a year as well. We have the gala coming up. It's May 13th at the Vanderbilt, and we're actually honoring, we have 2 Shining Star Awards that we honor our participants, so we get everybody involved. We have April Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month, and honestly, that month, people come to us and they want to do things. Schools, whether it's t-shirt selling or, you know, just events. Police department is putting together an event for us, so it's amazing what's going on with here at Grace.
Well, thank you for joining us. And again, this is Grace 10314 and a segment that we've started now called Dan on the Street. So we look forward to everybody joining us over the course of the next few weeks and enjoying some of the content that us, along with Gotham Trinity Productions and the Grace Foundation, will be creating.
Hi, in this segment, I would like to talk to Sophia Chalet from Fort Hamilton High School, who raised money for the Grace Foundation during Autism Awareness Month.
So I'm currently president of Communities Key Club at Fort Hamilton High School, and every month we like to give back to a nonprofit organization. And for April, we decided to donate to Grace.
So Sophia, how did you figure out a way to raise money for Grace?
We created t-shirts that incorporated the Grace design and the Grace logo, and keeping the puzzle pieces for autism awareness incorporated, along with the tiger paw, which is the logo of Fort Hamilton.
Did you guys make the design at your high school, like in a graphics department? Is there somebody who made this?
So my executive board, I work closely for Communities Key Club, and we worked on the design, and then we worked with T-Styles, which is an organization also in Staten Island, and they also employ people with disabilities.
So I love T-Styles, the work that they do on the island, working with young adults and adults that have disabilities. I think they're probably one of the best nonprofits that actually does that right now. What way did you guys actually market this to sell the t-shirts?
Our school is huge on flyers, so we worked to incorporate the designs into a flyer, incorporating technology by using a QR code so it's easy to get people's attention, and we promoted it through the loudspeakers at school. I brought a flyer right here to Grace. My family was supporting it, and they were telling everybody about it. So flyers was our big thing, and announcing it to the entire school, teachers, and a special part was that anybody could purchase a t-shirt.
So Sophia, how much money did you raise?
Around $1,380.
That's fantastic. You raised over $1,000 by making t-shirts.
Yes.
Can I still buy these t-shirts?
Not currently. We had it for a select time in April. This way we could get people wearing them in April, because that was the special part of it.
Do you plan on doing something like this in the future again?
Yes, I hope to keep bringing this back to Fort Hamilton. Even when I'm no longer attending Fort Hamilton, I hope to keep it going through every April and as long as I can just as long as I can.
It sounds great. I'd love to help you in any way that I can. You let me know if there's something I can do. This is Brian from Marvel Consults with Sophia from Fort Hamilton High School.
Hi, I'm Jenna Coningsburg. And I'm Dot. And we are the Grace 10314. Now today, we are going to be making some meatloaf and Brussels sprouts.
Sure.
What's your name?
Anthony.
Anthony what?
Caratola.
And what are we making today?
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf and
Vegetables.
vegetables. So you want to show them what we got? We got, what is this? Gravy.
Gravy.
Breadcrumbs. Oil. And what?
Fish.
So we're going to get the meat out of the fridge, okay?
Okay.
So let's get the meat out.
Yeah.
Come on over here.
Yeah.
Take out the meat.
Okay.
You want to show Joelle? Say it's meatloaf mixed meat.
Meatloaf next made.
Okay. Put that on the table.
Yeah.
Put it on the table.
Yeah.
Great job. Okay, who wants to go next? Jessica? Jessica, look at Joelle and say good morning.
Good morning.
Say your name.
I'm Jess.
And what are we making?
We're making meat.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
And vegetables.
Vegetables.
Alright, so let's get the bowl. Put that in the freezer.
I'd like to push my chairs.
Say good morning to Joelle.
Good morning, Joelle. I'm Matthew. This is Matthew. We are making meatloaf and vegetables.
Awesome. At Grace.
The Grace Foundation.
10314.
Grace 10314.
Alright, you're going to take out this bag. And this one over there. The other red one. Good. Put it on the table. On the table. Thank you. Alright. So what we're going to do now is...
Can I go wash hands?
No, you have gloves on. We're going to wash hands when you take it.
Good. It's your boy Matt here. And today at Grace Foundation 10314, we're making meatballs and veggies. Meatloaf and veggies. Meatballs and veggies.
Alright, so first what are we going to do? Come. We're going to put the meat in the bowl. Pass it to me. Over here so Joelle can get what you're doing. Alright, do the other one. Okay.
Kat, you're making a meatloaf and vegetables.
What are you doing, Kathy? You got enough warmers, Kathy?
One more.
Shells in there.
It's alright.
Yep.
Kathy, you
It's just
filming?
like
Am I filming?
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I don't like vegetables.
You don't have to eat it if you don't
Thank
like
you
it.
for your
Nico, can
feedback.
you put this back in the fridge? Thank you.
I'll just take the.
It's your turn.
You'll get your turn.
I'm a big boy. I got this.
Okay.
That's good, that's good.
Let's go.
Let's put it in there.
And sprinkle.
Like this?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Alright, that's good to start, and then we'll see what we have to add more. Yep, you're gonna sprinkle both.
Oh man.
Meatloaf.
This meatloaf is gonna be the bomb.
Sometimes you get stuck.
Hey, Lean, can I stir it?
Get that one. Push it.
You get adobo?
Yep. Adobo, I think, right?
Yeah, adobo.
Yep.
Oh, it expires in 2024, so we're good.
We're good for another 2 years.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So you're go like this, okay?
You film it?
No, look. You're gonna like this. Squeeze, come on, squeeze and mix.
Squeeze.
Squeeze and mix.
Oh,
Go ahead.
like
Squeeze and
Prince does.
Yep. That help too.
Why don't you help me?
Is there a reason why?
Taylor's good. Go ahead, keep mixing, keep squeezing and mixing.
You hear that, meat? You staying in the bowl. You are grounded. Get it? Grounded. Get it? Because I'm grounding the meat. Get it? Grounded.
Make sure you mix it like this. Look, up and down. Yep.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. It's not disgusting.
I mixed everything up, right? I'm doing it right.
She's not.
Just gotta be careful because it's not cooked.
She's not.
No.
Don't worry, buddy. You're not. Alright, you gonna get that?
Yeah. Okay.
Time to go.
On the bottom. Be careful.
I put stuff in the oven before when I was home.
Awesome. Great job.
Stick and stay tuned for more fun from the Dayhab crew. We'll be right back after this brief message.
On this episode of Dan on the Street, Dan meets up with Techie Geek's very own Mike Bloomfield. Next on Dan on the Street.
We're about to meet Dan on the street, yeah. D-A-N, Dan on the street, yeah. Talking anything with Dan on the street, yeah. D-A-N, Dan on the street, yeah. 10314, just back on Grace Foundation store. If you really want to meet Dan on the street, yeah. Dan on the street.
And joining us today is IT superhero and president geek, Mike Bloomfield of Techie Geek. Also joining with us is the Grace Foundation Dayhab crew. We have Grace and Brandon joining us. So, how you doing, Mike?
I'm good. I was just helping another client not be a victim of another cyber attack.
Why don't you give a little rundown on what your business is?
Sure. So, Mike Bloomfield, I am the IT superhero here on Staten Island. We are a managed IT service provider helping businesses not become another statistic and get hit by cyber villains.
A small price to pay for salvation.
What inspired you to do what you do?
If I really think about this and go back, I can remember being in high school and I was over a friend of mine's house and he was playing a video game called StarCraft. And I had never seen it and I was watching it. My parents didn't really have a computer for me to use. And I was like, that's really cool. And then he goes, oh, well, let me show you another one. And he showed me a video game called Half-Life. And instantly I fell in love with computers. I made my parents buy a computer. And so by my love of computer gaming, I got into IT.
Okay, that's cool. And my other question is, what's with the cape, dude?
Was that on the paper or are we going ad-lib? So, you know, being the IT superhero, I thought today would be a great day to unveil the new cape that maybe you'll see me at other events wearing. Probably not. We're going to take a look how this footage goes. But being an IT superhero, we take it very seriously and our branding seriously. So here it is to give it a try.
Okay, that's cool.
So now, Mike, you do a lot on the island as far as the community goes. Would you like to share a little bit about what you and your wife do?
I believe that you have to give back to that community that helped to grow our business. We've been in business, it'll be 10 years come January. And by being in business, the communities would help us to grow as quickly as we did. So we like to give back. I apparently sit on about 7 not-for-profit boards. My wife and I are both members of the Verrazano Kiwanis Club, which I am the vice president of. I'm also, the business is also a member of the Staten Island Rotary Club, and I am currently the president of the executive club. So we like to give back to that community and help shape the community for years to come.
What other organizations do you participate in?
I participate in a number of organizations, one being the Staten Island Economic Development Corporation. I'm also currently the ambassador for their Top 31 program, which will, at their business conference, is going to award the top 31 most influential business owners here on Staten Island. That's one that I'm very proud to be a part of.
So besides IT services, you handle a lot of other services for people in their homes and businesses and other things. Would you like to share a little bit about what else you do?
Sure. So the main part of our business is the business IT side, but we also have, selfishly, I like to say, IT is a very thankless job. No one calls you to say, great, hey, thanks, the servers are running great. Hey, you stopped another cyber villain. They don't call and thank you for that. So selfishly, we have a department that does home theaters, security cameras, audio visual for homes. And the reason I really love that part of the business is we get to see people smile. When you install a home theater for someone and you're turning on that first time for them and you watch them giggle like they now have a theater in their house, it makes you feel good. So selfishly, we also offer those services.
That's great. Now, any parting tips for people with the world of cybersecurity being so crazy and upside down right now? Is there anything that you'd like to share?
Absolutely. So on a personal level for people, not residential type clients, make sure that you're using MFA on all of those accounts. That's multi-factor authentication. Anything to log on your banks or anything that's really important, make sure you have a second form of authentication. It's extremely easy to use and use different passwords for every site. And for businesses, make sure you talk with the managed IT service provider to truly implement a zero trust security framework.
And that about wraps it up for our time with the President Geek, Mike Bloomfield from Techie Geek. Thanks to Brandon and Grace for helping us out today, and we'll see you soon.
Hi, my name is Shane. At Grace Foundation 10314, this is Praying for Fitness. the rare spare time that you have, what do you do enjoy to do?
So I wish that I had more spare time, Nick, but I don't. So I really cherish the spare time that I have. I try to spend it with my kids, my wife. I try to do as many activities as I can with them. When I'm not doing activities, coaching soccer, attending baseball games, gymnastics, cheerleading, going to music lessons, or just doing things with the family. I like to bike ride. If the weather is great, I like to take my bike out. I like to go all throughout the city.
Yes.
I like to ride my bike through the dump. There's a bunch of trails that you're not supposed to go on, but I know where there's a fence that fell down, so I go over that fence and I ride my bike all around through the dump because there's no cars. When it's cold out, I'll ride my Peloton. And if I have a lot of spare time, I love to watch Marvel movies.
Talk to us about your previous work experience.
Joseph, I don't even know where to start. So I came out of college. I originally wanted to be like Indiana Jones. I wanted to be an archaeologist, but apparently everything's already found, so there's not really much to do. So I went into teaching, and I taught for about 15 years.
Yeah, man.
You know, and then after a while, I started working in the nonprofit sector. Nonprofits were great. I had a lot of fun. I started to work across the city, and from one nonprofit to another, I started to learn the ins and outs of what nonprofits do. And I think that every job that I've had along the way has kind of helped shape me into opening up my own business, all the way back to when I was in high school and I worked at the South Philly cheesesteak store in the mall. I've taken stuff from every position I've had and I've made it work in the next one.
What is your favorite Marvel movie? And who is your favorite Marvel character?
It's like a loaded question. No matter how I answer, Carmine, I could have answered better. So favorite Marvel movie, I would have to say that I will watch Guardians of the Galaxy over and over again. It's funny, it's got action, there's multiple characters in it. It's probably the Marvel movie that I've seen the most, and I've seen some of them a lot. I think favorite Marvel superhero, are we talking movies, TV shows, comic books, everything? It would have to be, I mean, and Professor X is probably one of the coolest, but I'm gonna go with Juggernaut. Do you know who Juggernaut is? Juggernaut is Professor X's brother. He's tremendous. The reason that they call him a juggernaut is because he can go through anything. He runs through walls. The faster he starts running, the more powerful he gets. And I just thought when I was a kid, he was one of the coolest Marvel superheroes that were on the X-Men cartoon.
Why does everyone love superhero movie?
I would tell you first, not everyone does. I would say that my wife is not a superhero movie fan. But everyone else that likes superhero movies, I think the fact is that you can get lost in them. These are people who have superpowers and they can do things that other people couldn't do. Wouldn't it be really cool, like if you could fly through the air or run faster than anybody or like see through walls? I think that's something that, you know, like we all kind of fantasize about, having superpowers or being, you know, more than just, you know, an average person.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
That's a great question, Mark. I think what I would like to do if I had a superpower, I think I would like to be able to fly all around. I mean, think about like Superman. He doesn't have to take an airplane. He doesn't have to drive on Staten Island because the traffic's horrible out here. But he can just go somewhere instantaneous and he flies everywhere. Who wouldn't like to fly? Would you like to fly?
Yes.
See, it's a great superpower to have. Awesome job, Mark.
Why did you name the company Marvel's Continents? What's influenced you?
So it's a great question, Bridget. You know, the funny story is this. Originally, I had a different name for the company, but there's all these hoops that you have to jump through. So I had to find a name that wasn't registered. I had to find a name that had meaning for me. And then I had to find the website, the social media, and make sure nobody took any of the handles. Because you don't want to make a business name and then somebody else's, it's their website. So I had come up with a whole nother name. I spent a month on it. And then I found out that the name was taken and I couldn't get the website. So I started to look up, well, like, what would be a great consulting company? And then I looked up adjectives. Do you know what adjectives are?
Describe.
That's right. So I wanted to find adjectives and then synonyms for the word great. And what I wound up settling on was Marvel, because who's more marvelous than me? Nobody.
Nobody.
Right? So I started to look up and I said, well, why don't I go with Marvel Consults because I love superheroes and it sounds like I'm a marvelous consultant.
In your opinion, what is better, DC or Marvel Universe?
That is like the hardest question in the world, Bridget. So I grew up and I used to watch a lot of cartoons, a lot of superhero cartoons, and superheroes was really big when I was a kid. And I love DC. DC just, you know, you had Superman, you had Batman. Nobody really talks about Aquaman. But I got really into Marvel. And it was always that back and forth. I think that Marvel does better movies. And I think that DC has some great things that are on TV right now, like Titans. I love the new John Cena spinoff that they did with Peacemaker. But hands down, Marvel just beats them right out of the water. I think that their movies and everything are just so much better than DC. All right, that does it. Another episode of Grace 10314 is in the books. It was great to be with the Respite crew, and boy, did they do a great job on the program. Thank you to our friends at the Grace Foundation for allowing me to be today's host of the program. Be sure to check out Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness.